story is so inspiring. And
yeah, it is. It's amazing, and we have a tendency to, and I'm not just saying this because of Carol Craig, but we have a tendency to put people on pedestals, and I'll learn to say that word before the end of the show.
I know about them, right?
on that, but she just didn't dive into it. Her story is really interesting. It's amazing. She had to climb over a lot of cliffs. She had to take a lot of hurdles, and just like you and I have on there in building our business. So when you look at people with success, you can go to the president of the United States. Yeah, he's a billionaire, but he had to file a few bankruptcies along the line. Not going into the politics of it, but life is full of challenges, and it's how you meet the challenges that will determine what you do.
Exactly. I mean, what Carol really yesterday sharing her story with us at that event really made me realize the contributions she has made. So as a small business, however, she shared with us, she was raw. She said, there were nights she didn't sleep, and there are still nights she doesn't sleep because she knows that what she's sacrificing to continue growing her business. And I think that's just with us as entrepreneurs, the sacrifices we've made. I mean, we share a story that we got to the point that we only had $10 in our pocket, and we were invited to go speak at an event, and we weren't getting paid for that event, but we had to drive there. And we prayed about it, and we went. And we're so very, very happy that we did because that just kind of got us more opportunities. But as far as contributions, what do you feel are some of the greatest contributions small businesses have really provided to the local community or even nationally?
Well, one of the things that I think, and I don't know that everybody would necessarily chime in, but to be an entrepreneur, to be on Main Street, USA, to have that small business, you really, really are on the bleeding edge of what goes on in business. The inventions, the creativity, the ideas really originate from small businesses. And whether it's retail or whether it's space technology, that's the thing that goes on. It's there because we're not shackled into the corporate thinking. Why do so many corporations buy small businesses? The answer is they want their technology, whether it's just ways to market retail or whether you're launching spacecrafts. Mm-hmm. It's the technology. It's the new way to breathe life into an old business, and that's the important thing, because that keeps your spirits up. That keeps you dreaming. That keeps you on that edge where you're looking for the next possibility. What is that next just creative moment that's going to flash through your mind and what you're looking for? And that's the benefit, and that's the creativity of small businesses, and that's why a lot of big corporations buy small businesses. You look at all the mergers and acquisitions that go on through Wall Street up in New York. People are always taking over the new businesses to get the latest technology. Mm-hmm. You go back and look at Bill Gates. We did a show on it a couple of years ago. He started out in one of the people that was doing the nanotechnology of the most popular one was the iPad, but there was one before that. There was an Android version, and he was in part of that. And from those little steps, you've got a whole massive corporation.
So true. And again, we just want to remind our audience that if you would like to share with us your why, what motivates you as a small business owner, and have a chance, we have 2 tickets to give away today to the 9th Business Acceleration Summit here in Brevard County. So take advantage of getting one of those tickets and continue growing your business. It's just so fitting for the topic that we're talking about today about small businesses. But again, call in at 321-806 321-806-3159. Again, 321-806-3159. And tell us your why. But I wanted to make a mention. When we were kind of researching some information about Small Business Week to share out with our event yesterday as well as our show this week, what I found so very interesting was the fact that more than half of Americans either own or work for a small business, and they create about 2 out of every 3 new jobs in the U.S. each year. That's powerful. And you were just talking about Microsoft, Bill Gates. Look at, Apple as well with Steve Jobs. I mean, they all started in small businesses in the garage, in the dorm, I think,
in the garage, in the dorm,
the same
in the basement,
way.
Wherever.
We all start that way.
You start where you are. You don't look for a place to start. You start where you are.
But look how they have grown. And we talked about Carol Craig here with Craig Technologies. They all started small, but they persevered. They continued growing and, again, making those major sacrifices. And look now how they are contributing to our society, especially nationally.
Yeah, but,
internationally.
all over,
yes.
Yeah, But, when you decide to go into business for yourself, solopreneur, partnerships, whatever, most of us, including me, you look at the bright side. I can make as much as I want. I can do this. I can do that. I'll have the freedoms, and yes, you do, but running a business, the decisions that you have to make are not always easy.
Oh, tell me about it. I'm glad you get to make those decisions.
Well, just look at the decisions you make for people and talking about social media and doing your trainings and doing your phone conferences with people. There are a lot of decisions and sometimes they have massive impact on people's businesses.
Mm-hmm. Well, I just had a question come in asking basically, what is the definition of a small business? And, that's a really good question because to me, small business is us, entrepreneurs, 1, 2, 3 people. However, the actual definition of a small business is an independently owned and operated company that is limited in size and in revenue depending on the industry. For example, a local bakery that employs 10 people is an example of a small business. But also a manufacturing facility that employs less than 500 people is considered a small business.
Whoa, that's a pretty big number.
I
would have never guessed that.
I know that surprised me when I actually researched this information. And like I said, to me, we're small. We're actually entrepreneurs. There's a lot of entrepreneurs here in our local area. But I know that there's the number, I think it's 28 million small businesses.
Yes, yeah.
That are the backbone of our economy.
Well,
wow!
The small business people are the ones that are taking it to the public. Like I said, you talk about Main Street in any city in the United States, and they're the ones that go to work every morning. They're the ones that are figuring out how to get their product and service sold, how to get next year's products and services created, because nobody wants next year what they have this year. They want something different, newer, better, stronger, brighter, prettier.
We'll talk about our downtown communities because, when we were younger, the downtown area was the place to go. We didn't really have malls when we were children.
Exactly.
I don't
know that the malls are doing very well now, but it's cyclical.
Well, but here's
cyclical.
What's interesting. Downtown communities are revamping themselves. Look at our downtown communities.
You look at Melbourne, you look at Cocoa, the revitalization that's going on in just those two communities. And I know Titusville is doing the same thing up there with what's happening. They got the ball potential of the ball baseball team coming in up there. They got the space center is up and going again. So we here in Brevard County are very optimistic on business and having things grow and go our way. We spent a few years down, but that's just a life cycle.
Well, a few years ago, and I think it was around the time that our economy kind of took a downturn. So I would say 2008-ish, there was a initiative in many communities, and I know we had one here too, called Buy Local.
Yes.
And you mentioned American Express earlier. They actually were the ones that started the Small Business Saturday back in 2010.
Yeah, and that's the Saturday after Thanksgiving.
Exactly. And they made the Shop Small a nationwide movement so that we could celebrate small businesses every day. And that has really contributed to the local economy growing because, I mean, why should we buy from our local community or local merchants when we have the big chain merchants? What's the difference? Why?
And I'm going to obviously step out and be in favor of small businesses, but I don't, at the same time, I don't want to put down the large chains. But the disadvantage that the large chains bring into the local community is the dollars spent there, very little of it comes back to the community. Most of it goes to corporate headquarters. Yes, they're going to pay some wages and salaries that are local, but when you're buying from somebody on Main Street, not only are the people that they're paying and everything else that goes on staying in the community, their investments are in the community. They're paying property tax. They're paying use taxes. They're doing all the other things that are local taxes for Brevard County here, and that is what fuels the energy here to build new roads, to expand to new subdivisions, and take the money to invest in infrastructure and put all of that together. So that's how we look at it from that standpoint. It's keeping the money in the local community, and that's what it's all about. And that's why downtown Melbourne, Cocoa, what I call almost right now the Four Corners area in Palm Bay on Wickham and Palm Bay Road. It's all the same. It's coming up. It's the local entrepreneurs also having large corporations coming in, chains being there too. But everybody's grouped together. And if the big malls, Melbourne Mall, Merritt Island Mall, are going to come back, they have to embrace that. And right now, they want all those little national chains in so they can get high-dollar real estate footage. But unfortunately, people aren't shopping there because people want to do business with people they know, like, and trust.
Well, precisely. And as a small business, I know even our involvement in the chamber, I notice there's so much more activity and involvement with the small business entrepreneurs. Yes, we have other small businesses that have employees. They have their spokesperson or their key point person coming in and getting involved in the chamber too. But again, they're small businesses, and we seem to really just focus on helping each other. That's why the referral groups work well, or leads groups, and networking, because we're out building those relationships and we want to do business with each other. That is going to be beneficial. And so it's so important as a small business to get involved in your community. I love the fact that here locally we do have some great stuff happening on Small Business Saturday. I think, American Express during that time provides all the free artwork, things you can download so that you can push your promotions out with their logos and everything, and really get the movement going. And we've had some great stuff happening this last few years, especially in the different areas of Brevard County, that merchants get together and come together and celebrate that Small Business Saturday to drive people into their retail establishments. But it also helps those entrepreneurs that are small business owners, even though they are maybe doing direct selling or network marketing, they have products. And we're talking about your makeup companies, like Mary Kay, Arbonne, Send Out Cards, health products, Isogenics, all of these individuals that actually take and sell these products and have built a business from it. And a lot of them actually come together and put on, maybe they'll rent a space and they'll have activities during Small Business Saturday as well. But it is something that we shouldn't just celebrate Small Business Week and Small Business Saturday. We really need to be embracing and celebrating small businesses every single day of the year.
No, they still are the lifeblood of the economy.